And while you're focusing to the sound, allow your body to be relaxed and calm down your mind and relax your breathing. Just follow the sound. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, before we get into practice, I will give some guidelines regarding the meditation technique, and that may help for you while you practice yourself. So especially when it comes to this meditation technique, so remember there are many other meditation techniques, but mostly people like to calm down their mind and keep relaxed, and mostly people think the meditation means just finding your relaxation, finding your calmness. But when it comes to this tranquility and insight meditation, we try to find something more than the calmness, more than the peace, more than the tranquility state. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose that your tranquility state. So what I mean, we're not going to settle down there. So when it comes to the practice, the mainly in the first level, we try to bring our mind to one point, and to bring our mind to stable and keep relaxed and make it workable the way you want. So in this very moment, it is not like that. Mostly our mind, even that you want to focus to any primary mental object, it's always go here and there. So that is the very nature of it. So that's why we want to make it workable. And so when we trying to make it workable, so in the very first thing, we trying to give the primary mental object to our mind. So the primary mental object is our inhalation, exhalation. So then keep observe the inhalation, exhalation, and don't try to interfere with it. And so when you observing the inhalation, exhalation itself, and you're not trying to change its pattern, and you don't try to make any comments, and don't try to argue with it, just observe and recognize, and at the same time allow it to happen itself. So same like a movie projector. So when you take a movie projector, that as you know, the behind this all there is a light. That light giving the power to bring the pictures, and but that light not interfering with the pictures. So the light itself focus to one place, but the pictures change. and frame by frame it's moving. But even though light giving the strength that picture to appear, according to the pictures, light doesn't change. It stay in one place. So your consciousness the same, your awareness the same. Your awareness should be unmovable, following whatever the sensation. So if you go with the sensation, then you're not going to be stable. So tranquility state means you, whatever the mind, wherever it go, it bring back to the present moment. So when it come to present moment, the sati means tranquility state means you not allow your mind to fall into past or the future, going to past or the future, and stay in the present moment. To make it very easy, that's why we give the primary mental object our inhalation, exhalation, because then when the inhalation, exhalation happen, your mind always in the present moment. If you able to stay with the inhalation, exhalation. Why? Because the inhalation, exhalation cannot experience in your past or the future. It always you can experience in the present moment. So then put your attention to that, to stay with it and allow it to happen itself. And then when the inhalation happen, recognize this is inhalation. And when the exhalation happen, this is recognize this as exhalation. Another thing is, remember to keep the calmness. So in this tranquility state, one of the important quality that you have to develop, the physical calmness and the mental calmness, and not to have many kind of activities or the desires in our mind, even not to push too much yourself, and not to be too lazy, but not to become too strong, go towards the primary mental object. Because if you push too much, you get tired very easily. If you don't put attention, then you fall into sleep, or then your mind go here and there, caught up with some other thoughts, and then you're going to end the time. So then keep the calmness and make it more relaxed, because when the very nature of the body, when the body become relaxed, so this all in tranquility state, when the body become relaxed, it helps to relax your mind. And when the body and mind relax, it helps to relax your breathing. When the body, mind, breathing become relaxed, calm down, it helps to deeply clear your awareness. Your mind become more sharp and clear. So that is what we need. So once you have the sharp and clear mind, and then we go to vipassana level. So then in the beginning, follow the inhalation, exhalation in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Knowingly, this is inhalation, this is exhalation, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation in the second step. In third step, and some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So whatever happens, just accept it. Recognize it, accept it, allow it to happen itself. And just observe and just get a mental note and go with it. So that is a skill that you develop. Because inside ourselves, we always have kind of like we want to interfere with the nature. We want to interfere with the whatever happening. So you allow your mind to just stay calm and stay away from whatever happened. So once the body, this you get into tranquility state, as I mentioned, our purpose is not just settle down in calmness. Our purpose is deeply go and observe the very nature of the mind. So now we used to observe this all outside nature. Then now you try to observe with the 5 aggregates form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. So the form is itself the inhalation, exhalation. And following that inhalation, exhalation, observe what is happening inside you, not outside. So now you have to drop all the details with the inhalation, exhalation, and observe what is happening with your mind. And so in the very first level, you recognize the feeling. And following that feeling, observe how it changes. That feelings change according to inhalation and exhalation. And it is not anybody doing it. It is not you doing it or someone else or any other power doing it, maintaining it. It happens according to necessary conditions. And observe and recognize and accept it. And then following the feelings, sensations arise. And following the sensation formations, that's when thoughts arise. And following that thoughts, the recognition or the cognition arise. So this is the pattern go towards inside you. In the Vipassana level, we observe that. So again and again, stay with the inhalation, exhalation, and knowingly and recognizing the change. That change, it not outside change, the inside how you react, moment by moment, and how that inner experience change. So observing this is important, and at the same time remember that to be comfortable with the practice yourself and not to look for something beyond. Completely try to settle down with the moment, that whatever the experience that you go through, because that is where that you get out of this becoming nature. Otherwise, there is always current. Keep us move forward, push forward, look forward. So try to slowly settle down it with the self experience, the moment that you go through, and that will help you to be more relaxed and more calm. So that physical calmness, that mental calmness is not like this. We get anything through kind of like the outside material. It is more deeply and it is more different, and that is more comfortable for you, for your mind. It's like your mind go home. It's like, because that is where your mind came. That is where your consciousness used to be. Without this, all the dreams, desires, becoming and looking for something, looking for things, your mind had a place that without this anything used to be more settled down. So you slowly get into that very nature of it. So then release things rather than holding, looking for something, becoming. Just release and allow your mind to settle down. Let it go home. Let it be home. It's like a child, newly born child, come to mother. So yourself, when you release from this all the desires, your mind itself settle down with more comfortably, and it feel more safe and more relaxed and more deeply feel the comfort inside you without desires. So that is the first level that you have to experience yourself, and that is the most beautiful place that you can get in yourself in this spiritual practice. So with this vipassana, so it is possible. Just only thing is just give little practice yourself, and if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again, and be patient yourself, and with the comfortable posture, and try to practice. So remember yourself, if you able to practice this little bit, and if you have some experience in a certain level, and try to be like a mountain, unmovable posture, and Be like the water, is always keep the purity, newness, moment by moment. And be like the wind and keep the flexibility in you and be formless. Don't bring any previous experience to this moment. So again and again, and at the same time, be like sharp and open and pure, and at the same time, be attentive yourself, be available like the sun with your fully capacity you observe. So if you are a new to this practice, then just stay with the inhalation, exhalation, just allow it to slowly settle down. So your right palm on your left and neck get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, oh may I be well and happy 3 times. So take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, we're going to relax our body. So bring your attention to lower part of your body and observe and find the sensation and any feelings. Just get a mental note. Heaviness, tightness, heat, and your upper back and lower back with your spine. And shoulders, arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. And observe your chest and abdominal muscles. and your neck and head area. And bring attention to your whole body and feel your whole body as one. And bring attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently. Breathing, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. Just observe and recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Let everything to settle down itself. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation and exhalation. some inhalation become longer, shorter. And allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. And accept it and don't try to change anything. Just let it be. Bring attention to the sensation of inhalation, exhalation. So drop all the details that you see with inhalation, exhalation, and stay with the feelings and follow the sensation, formations, awareness, consciousness, and see how your experience change moment by moment. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire this compound, your village, city, state, country, around this world, and around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. So expand the loving kindness and compassion, beginning from your heart toward visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, when we talk to people nowadays, there are a lot of people say they are not that religious, but most people spiritual. And is it benefit for you and giving up any kind of religious practice and just become spiritual? And then when we look what is the spirituality, and mostly that people just they say they appreciate love, compassion, generosity, and one of another big word nowadays, empathy. So people like these words, but still when it come to our personal life, ourselves, mostly all over the world that we see a lot of people don't get themselves, they don't get benefit out of this practice. Even just you become spiritual, or if you become more religious, sometimes we see and people lose the inner qualities within themselves. So why this happen like this way? Why we cannot get the right result out of this, and why this religious people or spiritual people cannot get the right benefit out of it, and why people are afraid for this kind of words. When we look at the human history, the one of the the thing that we can see, the most of people come to religions, or even they practice spirituality, even they have the love, compassion, and empathy. This all they have kind of personal agenda. So you can be just a ordinary person. You can be the person who practices spiritual. You can see kind of like a person practice meditation. Even you can be see a kind of like a monk or yogi, or even the high priest, or even whatever. But if you have a personal agenda, then the whatever going to come out of you not going to become successful, because the the spirit itself has no form. So the spirituality means you developing the spirit inside, that whatever exists or whatever that give the existence to you. And the way you maintain your physical material behavior is we call religion. So the spirit, the very being that who you are, the way you maintain it, the way you uplift it, and the journey that you create inside yourself, doing different activities sometimes, and even certain ideas you bring as psychological ideas or cultural ideas, and some to maintain that your very being, and you hold that as spirituality today, and you put a label on it, and sometimes you trying to find the love, you try to express the compassion, that you try to find you try to express the empathy like this. But the thing is this, that maybe you like spirituality, but if you don't know what is spirit, the very step that you take to develop your spirituality can go wrong if you don't know what is the spirit, what is the nature, and what is the behavior of the spirit. And if you try to express your love, but if you don't know the very meaning or the very behavior of the love, and sometimes it can hurt you. The compassion the same. If you don't know the very behavior of the compassion, the very nature of the compassion, authenticity of the compassion, the very raw level, the organic level of the behavior of the compassion, if you try to be compassionate regarding somebody, maybe you're not going to get the right result. So everything the same. Sometimes we reject religion, but if you look yourself, do you know really what is religion? To reject it. So if you don't know what is religion itself very clearly, your rejection is invalid. Even the acceptance also invalid. So the becoming spiritual the same. And if you trying to become spiritual, but if you don't know what is spirituality or what is a spirit, without knowingly if you try to become spiritual, it itself invalid. So then the love, the compassion, just we try to act like others. We try to, in the surface level, we try to do like what other people do without knowingly. In the surface level, it is good. In conventional life, it is make it more comfortable. But remember yourself, you have to go little bit forward and see what this is. And if you try to reject something, if you try to accept something and start to look what it is, what is that? Maybe nations, generations to generations, sometimes things can reject. Maybe that is very good thing. That as example, do you know like diamonds? The most diamonds in Africa. But in the very first time, the African people didn't know the value of the diamond. They used to play with the diamonds. The children in villages, they used to play with diamonds without knowingly the value of it. The same thing can happen to you also. And what you reject and maybe what you accept without knowingly the value, the both equal to unknown. So then it is your responsibility. Remember, before you reject it something or before you accept something and start to get into it and start to look, be very clear. That is the very first step in the path of the first absorption, the first mental, the high, the becoming, the attaining to the jhana, the becoming attaining to high mental powers, the very best, the first quality. It called that in Pali Savitaka. Savitaka means when something come to you, even when it come to meditation, you become very clear and recognizing what is this and what is the technique and how I do this, and you become very clear with it. You have no doubt regarding that. And then once the thing is this, once you become very clear, there's nothing to accept and nothing to reject. When you know something very clearly, in that clarity, there's nothing to accept, nothing to reject. You just know it, that is it. It gives peace to your mind. So like the judge, see that sometimes I give another analogy. So the people don't like to judge others and say, oh, I don't judge. It's kind of like a very fancy word. Why you don't judge? Because look at the world, everybody judge us. Do something wrong, how many people start to tell things? If that the judging is so bad, why does everybody do that? Even your own mind, secretly, in your dark room, you judging everybody, and you judge yourself, and if you don't like it, you don't accept, you reject it. But why in the society we don't say it? We don't like to say it. Oh, I don't like to judge. Why we say like that? Because to judge, you have to be qualified. Especially when we practice with teachers in the monasteries. Every day we have to go to teach, and we have conversation with the teacher. And then sometimes, and when if we do some wrong things, and the beauty of living with the high priest, sometimes the whatever the wrong that the understanding or the path that we take, if it is go a different way, and they see it, and they tell us, they judge us. So, and sometimes why we afraid to judge that if other people judge us? Because we also have no confidence ourselves. So that's why we are also afraid ourselves if other people judge us. So then just look yourself two ways. One is you are afraid to judge because you are not qualified to judge. And another thing is, if you are afraid if other people judge you, that's mean you are not complete. Because if you clear, you're not afraid for any judgment. So when you go to the judges, when you go to court, so the judge, see, this is right, this is wrong. He don't take it personal. He don't take it to himself. He's relaxed. He don't get disturbed out of whatever. So then in life, when it comes to meditation, the same thing. If the mind go here and there, you bring back. Even you are in the, listen this very carefully. This is the point, if you get, it's the key point. Even if you are in the present moment observing, you not become happy. If the mind go here and there, you don't get disturbed out of it, you bring back it. And if you are in the present moment, you're not going to become happy thinking, oh, now I am happy, okay, now it's good, I can stay. It's not going to. If it is do like that way, when the mind go here and there, you're going to get disturbed. So when it come to something, so remember, that's why we try to reject that if the mind go here and there, it is not good. And we have idea, we condition our mind thinking if the mind stay in one place, that is good. It is not like that. If the mind go here and there, if you bring back the same thing, the same mental power, the same ability, if you stay in the moment to keep that in the stay moment, you use the same ability. There is no difference. So then remember, the very first thing, that only thing is you have to be very clear. Just know yourself. And when it comes to meditation, that whatever you practice, start to know it very clearly. And once you know that, the very first thing that you're going to have the recognition. So without judging, the recognition not going to happen. But that judging means, it is not kind of like we mention this judgment and kind of like we putting labels on others. It is not like that. You recognize, but you don't take it personal. So when it comes to religion, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to love, compassion, even the empathy, if you have your personal agenda, your personal view, yourself, and you cannot give it to others without any kind of connection or the attachment. So when you give it with the attachment, or when you give it with the connection, or when you give it with the personal agenda, it is anymore not the religion. It is not, you're not going to become anymore spiritual. Even it is not going to be love. It's not going to be compassion. It's not going to be empathy. When you have a personal agenda, with that personal agenda, if you try to have the compassion towards others, it is anymore not the compassion. So then yourself always look, get out of it. Get out of that mindset, that whatever with the self-centered mind, even don't try to love somebody. You're going to get hurt maybe in the way. So even don't try to be generous with the personal agenda. You're going to get hurt. So becoming generous, giving something is good. But how about if you try to do it with the personal agenda, then later you're going to get hurt. So becoming spiritual the same, becoming religious the same. And today it is a very fancy word. And oh, we are not religious, we are spiritual. But we must have personal agendas. With the personal agenda, you cannot become spiritual. That is the point. Why? Because the very nature of the spirit itself becoming free. And when you become free, that means you make free other people. So becoming free yourself, that doesn't mean other people should be in a cage behalf of your freedom. But we think like that mostly. Mostly people think behalf of your success, other people should be fail. It itself not a success. Behalf of your happiness, other people should suffer. Itself, it is not a happiness. Behalf of your wisdom, other people should be ignorance. It is not any more wisdom. So then, when it comes to becoming spiritual, remember the very basic point is, the very nature of the spirit is becoming formless. That in the spirit there is no form. So if you develop the spirituality, the very first quality that you have to develop, come out of the self-centered mind. You cannot, if you become spiritual, you cannot carry self-centered view. Why? In the spirituality, no, there is no the self that you can mention, this is me, like that. Because when you become spiritual, means, because the religions come out of the spirituality. The religion is a byproduct of the spirituality. Mostly people don't know the beginning of the spirituality. And they just reject. And you reject the byproduct of the spirituality, and you try to get the main thing. Even you cannot handle that byproduct. And then you try to get into the main thing without knowingly what it is. At least becoming religious is good. Once a day you do, and once a week you go to church, and once a day you pray, or twice a day you pray, or that thing. It's more comfortable, a little bit relaxed. But remember, becoming spiritual means you completely come out of all the names and forms. You become completely formless. It's kind of like you release all the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness from your body, and you don't carry any more name, no identity for you. If you exist for a moment like that, you become a good spirit. You synchronize to the spirit. But we think, oh, we are spiritual, but we don't know what is a spirit. So then remember yourself. The very first thing is start to get very clear with what you're doing. And once you know that, always the very first thing come to your mind, that you see things, but you're not going to, to attach, or you're not going to resist anything. And but you see. So that is the very good place for you to judge things. And around you, people become so lucky if you are kind of that person. Why? Because without getting attachment, without resisting, without fighting with anything, you start to see them. Like the judge. And you don't know who going to be the judge, and you have no any kind of relationship to judge. And then, whatever the decision, they say, they know what it is, and they say, okay, this is right, this is wrong. And they don't take it personal. They don't take that decision next day to their home. No. So how about, can you see things in around you in day-to-day life? So then the very first thing, the savitakka. So this means, be very clear with what you know. And that knowingly not going to not going to take you and hold you. When you understand that wisdom, release from you, release you from that whatever the things. That is the beauty of wisdom. So when you are able to know regarding everything exactly the truth always make you free. So if you don't know the truth, that whatever you like or whatever around you, whatever the things around you, it can bring the tightness, hold, and it can make you a prison. So then always remember to see the truth without that getting detached or without getting attached. So that is the art of vipassana. Even regarding your own experience, you see without getting attached or without getting detached. That if you are able to develop that quality within yourself in day-to-day life, anything around you, and you will see there's something that you can experience deeper in you. That tranquility state, that wisdom is different than what you read and get to understand through the book or listening to something. It's totally different. So you need some practice to get into that. So then yourself, little by little, try to get into that. And it's kind of like a come out of a dream. But while you are in a dream, you always get attached, you go always fight with things, and you try to hold it to things or to try to throw away things. But once you get out of the dream, it is completely different. So it's like this. There was a girl, and she was dreaming to becoming a mother and having a child. And every day she had that desire to become a mother, become a mother. So then one day she fall into sleep. In that sleep, she start to see a dream. So in that dream, she had a child. She was so happy with that child. And then within few days, the child died in the same dream. And then she was so unhappy. And then suddenly she wake up. And when she wake up, she knew it was a dream, and that the desire disappeared. So same like when if you wake up from this the dream that you carry, and the most of things will disappear, and even you don't believe that the mostly the 90% of your life related to just dreams that will disappear, and that will give the clarity, and that is the day that you're going to see things very clearly. So when you able to see things very clearly and you just see it without any attachment or without any detachment, that is the true experience, that is the true nature of the wisdom. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbhityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammam asavakkaya vahannotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.